This is GSI News Weekly. Here is Bayo Adenekan.
Hello everyone, and thanks for watching this week's edition of GSI News Weekly. As you can see, Carlene is off today, so I'm flying solo. On to our top story of the week. A Kelowna-bound Beechcraft King Air 100 plane slammed into a busy Richmond roadway Thursday, killing its pilot and injuring everyone else on board. The plane appeared to be experiencing just a routine engine issue before the crash around 4 p.m. The pilot, 44-year-old Luc Fortin of North Vancouver, requested a return to Vancouver 15 minutes into the flight when an oil pressure indicator light came on. The Transportation Safety Board, which is investigating the crash, says the plane appeared poised to land safely at YVR when it suddenly plummeted onto Russ Baker Way in Richmond. The aircraft collided with a car before bursting into flames. A number of motorists who witnessed the crash pulled the fire extinguishers from the car in an attempt to put out the fire and began helping people from the wreckage before first responders arrived just minutes after the crash. The BC government will be honoring these heroes who put out themselves before others. And the health of the passengers involved in the plane crash is improving, with one person still remaining in VGH's intensive care unit and 4 others in stable condition. Now onto another story. The Vancouver Police is recommending 163 charges against 60 suspects in the Stanley Cup riot that tore through Vancouver almost 5 months ago. Police Chief Jim Chu announced the charges against these rioters, including counts of assault, participating in a riot, mischief, and break and enters. He assured that the group of 50 men and 10 women represents only the first wave of suspects who will eventually be charged in connection with the mayhem that followed Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. The VPD said that as many as 700 people could ultimately face charges that the investigation could take up to years to complete. Halloween night was no treat for Vancouver firefighters, who responded to 36 blaze that caused about $50,000 worth of damage at locations across the city. That puts the total cost of Halloween and firework-related issues in the city since Friday night up to roughly $200,000. Participants of the Occupy movement around the world are expected to rally in favor of a so-called Robin Hood tax. The Occupy movement protesters want G20 leaders to impose a 1% tax on all financial transactions and currency trades, arguing it would generate massive amounts of cash that could be used to help the society. BC's fastest growing school district will get 4 new schools to accommodate expanding enrollment in Surrey, and aging buildings in other districts will be upgraded or replaced. Premier Christy Clark said Monday that land has been bought for 4 future schools in Surrey and that a total of 9 new schools will be built in BC. The entire $353 million project is expected to create about 1,850 jobs. And BC students will be allowed to bring their own smartphones to school as part of the government's plan to personalize education. But BC Teachers Federation said that letting children bring such gadgets to school will only increase the disparity between those who can afford them and those who don't have the money. While the government said the plan has been developed in consultation with parents, students, and teachers, the Federation says there haven't been any formal discussions with the teacher union. BC's minimum wage went up by 75 cents to $9.50 an hour yesterday. By next May, the minimum wage will rise to $10.25 an hour. Last spring, the Liberal government finally raised BC's minimum wage, which was at that point the lowest in Canada. Here is some world news. A 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck Turkey on October 23rd in the eastern province of Van, causing hundreds of mud brick homes and concrete buildings to fall and hundreds of tragedies for the people who lived inside them. The death toll of the quake increased to 582, of whom 450 were in the eastern city of Ekris, Close to 4,000 were injured, and some 230 were brought out of the ruins alive. This earthquake was one of the strongest to hit the country in nearly a decade. NATO's triumphant 7-month air campaign against Libya ended Monday, setting the country on the path to a democratic transition less than 2 weeks after the capture and killing of ousted dictator Muammar Gaddafi. The alliance turned down a Libyan request to extend the protective umbrella for a few more weeks, apparently eager to exit on a high note and wrap up a costly mission at a time of financial austerity. And sometime on Monday, a baby was born who helped to push the human population of this planet to 7 billion, says estimates from the UN Population Fund. Amid the millions of births and deaths around the world, it is impossible to peg any individual baby as the globe's 7th billionth occupant. So instead, the Union marked the day with festivities worldwide. Nations including India, South Africa, and Nigeria all claimed honored babies born on Monday as number 7 billion in the world. Well, take a look at this picture here. Phoenix Coyotes forward Rafi Torres' decision to dress as rap mogul Jay-Z for Halloween, complete with darkened skin, has sparked fierce criticism on the web. The NHL player was photographed along with his wife Gianna, who was dressed up as a pregnant Beyonce Knowles at the Coyotes team Halloween party Sunday night. The image went viral, and after his teammate Paul Bizzanetti tweeted it to his 160,000 followers. And finally for us today, a conservative member of the Red Chamber has laid an unexpected smackdown on one of Canada's national symbols by suggesting that it is time for the beaver to head back to the dam. Senator Nicole Eaton says the beaver is a dentally defective rat that owes its current prominence to its former popularity as a source material for fancy hats in days gone by. While the beaver has been an official emblem of Canada for more than 35 years, she is advocating the polar bear as a replacement and calling on her fellow senators to help promote her initiative. We've also set up a poll based on this story on GSI's Facebook page. We will be announcing results from the poll during our next newscast. And just a reminder to all of you that daylight savings time is going to end this Saturday, November 5th. So before you go to bed Saturday night, don't forget to turn back your clocks and get that extra hour of sleep. And that wraps it up for me today. There are many ways you can stay in touch with us. You can watch our sportscasts and other shows on youtube.com/thegSIVN. Visit us on facebook.com/gsi.vn and follow us on Twitter at GSI_VN. Hope you have a good rest of the week, and we will see you again next Wednesday. Take care.